friend, Stephen Brown. This is the show with Stephen.
We're starting early. We're starting early because I'm raring and I'm ready to go, baby. Let's get it on. He's here. The myth, the legend himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stevie B has entered the chat. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Idubbbz. Get out of here, Donnie. I don't want no pussy around here. Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Idubbbz. What's going on? It's your friend, the Ian. I'm a good guy. It's me, Ian. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, man, I keep fumbling the bag. I can't stop fumbling the bag. Oh, no! Oh, no! Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Break It Down with Brown. It's your boy, Stevie B, coming at you live. I started a little early, because I thought we'd do a funny bit with Donnie, because he was sitting on the desk, but he ran away as soon as I started doing my Idubbbz voice. Because I guess that being Idubbbz just scares away pussy. Now, I know this is going to be our second week in a row talking about Idubbbz, unfortunately. At this point, I might as well be an Idubbbz reactionary YouTuber. I'd like to do other things, but the man won't stop cope posting. And I mean legitimately cope posting. He is literally in his midlife crisis. At 32, he's in his midlife crisis, and he has won't stop making a fool of himself on the internet. And not in the fun way like I do. So let's go ahead and take a look. Oh yeah, this is what we were listening to, by the way, in the pre-stream. This by Gaming Productions, relaxing JRPG music to sleep or study to. And if we come over here, we can look at the new video. I miss the old Idubbbz, straight out the gold Idubbbz. You know, like he thinks he's Kanye West or some shit. That was the last thing we talked about last week. And hopefully next week, Idubbbz won't post anything and we can move on and talk about something else. But today we're going to be looking at his new video. It's only 17 minutes this time instead of fucking 26. And I miss the old Idubbbz. I haven't spoken candidly about my feelings on this channel. It's always been obscured by a video criticizing someone else or blah, 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 blah. Now, from what little information I have, from what I know of, this just came out yesterday. But just from what I hear, what I've seen on the internet of people talking about it, apparently in this video, he comes out and, you know, continues to basically just keep apologizing for the fact that he used to say the N-word and that he used to have a sense of humor and now he's a shell of a man.
For a while, I felt like if I changed my content over time, that people would see that as a reflection of who I am and what I value. But
he said that exact same thing last time, which I imagine is something he's been repeating in his own life and telling himself and telling other people.
I'm starting to realize that that is a very weak and passive way to, you know, run my channel and live.
That's okay how you want to live your life, though, that you are a very weak and passive person.
My life. So I think it's, you know, if I'm going to have the balls to go to...
There's nothing wrong with that, too. You can be weak and passive, dude. Just don't pretend you're not.
Tana's fan meetup and say slurs at her and then make a video about how it's okay to say slurs. I think I should have the balls to make an apology video and take accountability for the mistakes I've made. So that's what this video is. I realized that
there was a point that was made on the internet by I'm not sure who, just saw it on Twitter, that, you know, and I believe it was the H3 podcast, that Anissa had publicly said on a podcast, I believe the H3 podcast, could be wrong, that it was her idea to go to the Tana Mojo meetup thing and say that, you know, tell her to say the N-word. And she's the one holding the camera. But she doesn't have to apologize, right? Just Idubbbz.
I need to be crystal clear about what I believe, so there's no room for ambiguity. I am responsible for creating a lot of hurtful and damaging content on this channel. And I've also created a culture of apathy and, I don't know, a lot of like cruelty as well. Like, you know, some of the videos I've made have been very not edgy. I don't think they...
No, I understand that Idubbbz is very popular, obviously, and was big in the commentary community and all that stuff, and drama community. But he's saying that he created the culture and all this stuff. I'm not 100% if that's for sure that's true, because on the internet things move so much faster. On the internet, in the context of culture, let's say, whereas you could say America has been a certain way for a certain amount of time because of culture or whatever, but on the internet, specifically YouTube, whatever the trends are, what's going on, it changes so quickly and stuff like that, that I don't think you can really say that. While he probably did have some kind of impact on how things have turned out, I guess you can't say that he's directly responsible for everything. But he obviously thinks very, very, very highly of himself. He thinks that he has the control of the internet to make it the wasteland it is today.
Some of these videos were edgy. I think they were just outright cruel. So I don't want people to, get it confused about.
My tea is too hot. I want to drink it, but it's too hot right now.
I have made some cruel, hurtful content, and I need to acknowledge that, and I'm really sorry that it's taken me this long to acknowledge it. The content I'm talking about specifically are content cop videos and videos where I was just generally criticizing people for very lackluster reasons. And, obviously... I don't have nothing to say. He's just kind of repeating. This is a boring video. It's not as exciting as last time, obviously, because he's not starting more drama. But he's going to... I know this for a fact, just because I haven't even watched the full video yet, but I know from everyone's scathing remarks about the video, and that's been all anyone's been talking about, is that I know that he's talking right now. He's giving all this stuff about how he's trying to... atone for all the shit he's done, whatever, all this negativity he's caused. But not at one point is he going to apologize in this video for sending so much hate towards Froggy Fresh. And now people literally, I've tweeted about it. I'm not super familiar with this person, but there's some streamer on Twitch called Denims. I think it's Denims TV, some stupid bitch who called Froggy Fresh a Nazi. And people just throw around that term so easily. Listen, just because someone is white, first of all, and or doesn't agree with you, doesn't make them a Nazi. A Nazi, okay, is someone who, tries to kill Jews, okay? They're fascist dictators, okay? And guess what is a big part of dictatorships? Communism. So please, if you're an alt girl with colored hair and tattoos, stop thinking that communism is going to save America. Sorry, I had to get my old white man shit off my chest. Accountability online whatsoever on my end. I was morally grandstanding and acting as if I am any better than any of these people that I was making content cop videos on, and I'm not. I'm a human. I'm a real human who makes mistakes, and I make a different set of mistakes than the people I was making videos on, but it doesn't matter. I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate. It's also indoctrinated a lot of people into thinking that this is an okay way to behave, and it's not. It's super irresponsible and shitty. I am very insecure.
This is really childish of me, okay? That I'm gonna say something stupid, and mean, okay? Well, first I wanted to touch on what he just said. Yes. I honestly get where he's coming from, and I appreciate the fact you want to be more positive and stuff. Because it's kind of like everyone has like a meter, a fucking bar that fills up. It's like when a cup's filling with water and it's going to overflow. You can only handle so much negativity before you get over it, or you need a fucking break from that. And negativity obviously is bad or whatever. But you can still have fun, and the problem is that a lot of fun on the internet is at poking fun at other fucking idiots. It's just the internet. It's just always been that way. It's like being on the playground at school or some shit. You shouldn't be taking it too seriously anyways. It's the internet, right? Let's pull up my big dumb face here real quick. It's the internet. You should be able to have fun and make fun of people and talk shit, and you shouldn't have your feelings hurt so much. It's just that the internet's been around for so long, for too long, that now it's like, you've got multiple generations on it. And the people who first discovered the internet, when the internet was just like a thing, it's just like going to the library or like drinking a cup of coffee at a cafe. Like, oh, I could go there and hang out and do this thing, but it's not like the basis. It's not like the main spot I'm going to be at or whatever. Now the internet is everything to everyone. So people take it way more seriously than it should be. Maybe pay, I'm saying you have your real life in real life, with other human beings in front of you, and then there's the internet. And I think you should treat the internet that way. Not like how people like this. I understand like he's a person who makes his living off the internet, whatever, but like he shouldn't be taking it all so seriously. Let me pull him back up. I want to show you what the stupid thing I was gonna say, what I was thinking. Check this out. This is crazy. Take a look at this man's nostrils. Now I've never noticed this before. Look how small that one is. Is this just the angle? You see that there? Can you see what I'm seeing? Look how big that one is compared to it. Has he been like that, or is that from losing too many fights? Did he get his nose broken? What's going on with that? Can he breathe when he sleeps at night? I'm really fat, so I've gained like 30 pounds in the last year, I think. So I have when I sleep, it's hard to breathe. That's a fat thing. And I have to breathe through my nose. It's like, snoring and shit. Do you think he can breathe with that little nostril, or is it all through that one nostril? What's up with that? Okay.
About my ability to create interesting content or like entertain. It's gotten better over
my
the
tea is
years,
drinkable now.
But it's
not
something that I have struggled with constantly, and it's one of the reasons why I, kept making this hurtful content. I ended up pivoting it into other things.
I think you made the hurtful content because your daddy didn't love you. I literally think that's your whole character arc. Your dad didn't love you. You met your first girlfriend. You touched your first vagina. You left your bedroom for the first time.
To interpret that as an excuse,
that's your whole arc.
But I hope that is relatable to other creators who maybe struggle with the same thing. I'm not confident in my ability to entertain, and I think if I had to rely on my personality to entertain people, that I wouldn't have any amount of success, and that is
I agree.
Really hard to come to terms with. I was being very bigoted.
I get like that too. I'm being harsh. I'm also entertaining right now. I'm trying to make fun of him. I'm doing the same thing, kind of like he's saying, like, I should be able to make content. He's saying you should be able to make content without bringing other people down, kind of thing, and using that as a crutch to be funny, but it is so fucking funny. And I understand that. I'd say I specifically feel that way when I do my Let's Plays. I love doing Let's Plays, dude. I love making gaming content, but I think it's the hardest shit to make. I find it easier if you have a camera on you, when I do the gaming content where there's no face cam and I can't actually see myself. If I can see myself in the corner while I'm playing the game, I feel like I put on a better performance or more entertaining. But I hear what he's saying. He feels like he can't be entertaining unless he's cutting someone else down. I understand that, actually.
And I justified it because, I didn't think it was too serious. And I thought that people were going to see that I had good intentions, But that's so silly, Casual racism is still racism. Casual bigotry is still bigotry.
What is casual racism?
Said a lot of things.
Just saying, listen to this. Check this out. This is going to blow your mind. Just saying the N-word is not racist because it's just a fucking word. If you think that just saying the word that human beings have created and you've chosen to put some weight on makes you racist, you have the emotional maturity of a fucking lamp.
That I look back at and I cringe now, and I'm like, that is an awful thing to say. It doesn't matter what my intentions are. Like, if I'm hurting people, I'm hurting people. And, who the fuck knows what my intentions are? Like, sarcasm and, jokiness and jokey tone only goes so far, especially over the internet. Even in real life,
his nose is kind of fucked up.
An impossible thing.
Has it always been like that?
Know with 100% certainty. I've just always had this dumb philosophy that I'm not responsible for, my audience and how they...
I'm going to make, now if I had any kind of following, I'm sure people would kind of flame me for this. I'm going to make a compliment for Idubbbz. I do love making fun of him, and I do like the memes about, the difference of how he looks to now or whatever. But he looks better. I mean, but also I'm alternative like that. I had a mullet like that. I got the tattoos and shit. I like the kind of girls that like the kind of guys that look like this. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm the same way. When I used to give a fuck about my appearance when I cared and used to work out and stuff, I kind of dressed myself up like that as well. So I understand. I will say, though, I think it's a better look for him. I'm just going to say that. I just want to throw in one nice bone. You know, he definitely looks more fuckable, right? He looks more attractive than when he was just a virgin nerd. But at the same time, I don't think that this is who he is. I think he's just putting this on for his girlfriend, or because it's trendy to look like this. It is really trendy to look like this.
And that's stupid. And it's led to a lot of hate and a lot of bad outcomes. And I just want to make it clear that I am absolutely responsible for my audience. And, you know, I guess if you want to, you know, look out for people who are red flags, it's definitely people who had my mentality that say, I'm not responsible for what my audience does. I know that this apology isn't enough.
There is a, if you have a following, there's a level of responsibility, sure, about how you steer people. But at the same time, no, you shouldn't be held. It's not your fault if some dumbass goes out and commits a hate crime because you said the N-word once or something. Do you know what I'm saying? People are insane. People are going to idolize you and stuff. If you're a famous person or an influencer even, or whatever you want to call Idubbbz, a big YouTuber, you should not be wholly responsible for dude, if you tried to arrest me because a fan of mine shot someone, fuck that. What are you talking about? Now, that's to the extreme, of course. I think he's talking more about social interactions, but still.
I've clearly done a lot of damage. You know, these videos have been up for a long time and have accumulated millions of views. I shouldn't be able to just make an apology video and walk away from it. This is something that I should live the rest of my life with, and I expect to.
Something I should live the rest of my life with. Hold on, let's put that. This is something I should live the rest of my life with. Bro, it's not that deep. I make fun of you a lot. But dog, I honestly just want you to be happy. You need therapy and a little less of your own opinion. Fuck it. I lost my train of thought. What's the best word? Little less of your own opinion reflected back at you, or echoed back at you. Respect and love. I'm ending, hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm saying here, I think we're ending the Idubbbz war saga. I think the Idubbbz war arc is going to end with this video, unless I have a habit of commenting. I do this a lot. If you like, I don't know if there's a way to look at someone's comments, like if you can go look up all my comments and shit on YouTube. But like, I have a problem of stopping a video in the middle of it and commenting at the exact point I'm watching, as if they would know. Do you know what I'm saying? And then something will happen that changes, like the H3 Bo Black situation. If you don't know, H3 Productions, Ethan Klein, ordered like 200 plushies of Bo Black's plushies, whatever. And then when, come on, brain. And then like right before they were going to be sent out or some shit like that, he refunded it and like fucked him over. You know what I'm saying? Like did chargeback shit, which is awful, by the way. But before he got to that point in the video, I was just like, oh, good guy Ethan. Like, I was like, wow, I fucking hate Ethan Klein, but he did something nice for once. He's buying homie's plushies and supporting him. And then like 5 minutes later in the video, it gets to the point of the timeline where he says that he charged him back and fucked him over. I'm like, oh, never mind. So I'm guilty.
I've profited
of that shit.
This bigoted content for years, and I've made a successful career out of it. And that's not right. I think that this is only a step in the right direction, and I know that a lot more needs to be done to even approach a life that I would think would be like acceptable. I am running ads on this video, and any revenue generated from this video, I'm going to match and donate to an organization that would have been particularly affected by the type of rhetoric that I've been spewing on this channel. And again, this isn't the end of what I'm doing. This is just the start. I don't feel like a lot of this content represents me as a person, at least not anymore. There was a time where it probably perfectly represented me because I was a nasty, apathetic, insecure person. Now
I want to say, I don't know who he's around specifically, or what what is motivating him for the apology tour. He's been nonstop for the last couple years, saying he keeps saying the same shit. I apologize. He keeps apologizing, saying I'm sorry for making these videos and being this person and all this stuff. But who is actually going out of their way to tell him to do that? Maybe then he lives in California, right? Maybe the woke people around him. I don't think anyone on the internet really gives a fuck. The only time people bring up shit that Idubbbz has done in the past is to hold it as the hypocritical example against what he's saying now. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think he was really having this problem before I think he created his own problem.
Now that I don't feel like it represents me and I want to...
When it comes to the internet too, you create your own problem. If I go on Twitter and fight with someone, or let's say if I said something and it brought me hate and people started commenting or responding to me about whatever, I make the decision to walk away and not look at it. I make the decision to engage with it and egg it on and make it worse, or I make the decision to diffuse the situation. Do you know what I'm saying? He makes the decision to keep egging it on and making shit worse for himself. Bro, just stop looking at your computer and phone.
Distance myself.
Fucking read a book.
And keep it from, indoctrinating more people. I'd like to unlist the videos so that people, can access them still for whatever, purposes they might want to do that for. But it's not being proliferated on the website. I feel like that's the best solution, at least for the time being. And for anyone who liked those videos, I want this video to be an example and a lesson for you. You can like content, but you can also think that it's irresponsible and it's hurting other people. So just tap into that part of your brain that's saying,
Hold on.
Oh, okay. It's probably not that important that this video stays online because, truthfully, I've seen it, I've experienced the content, but it's done a lot of damage. We can just let it go.
There's a little bit of a level-headed take there. He kind of did it in a roundabout way, but I think what he's trying to say there is that you can enjoy something. It's like when you say you can like a bad movie. You can enjoy a movie and still say it's bad. He's trying to say you could still watch that content, enjoy that video, but recognize that it hurt someone, whatever. But in that specific context, who did those videos hurt? Leafy is here. Rice Gum, Tana Moja. They're fine, bro. They're fine. Especially I would say out of all those people, all the hit pieces, Rice Gum. I fucking hate that guy. He's a fucking sycophant. The man is a loser. He's a retard. He's got a fucking monkey brain. All he cares about is, bro, flexing, bro. Flexing, bro. I got money, bro. I got money, bro. You don't have money, bro. Look at my Louis Vuitton bag, bro. I got shoes, bro. He's got no depth of character. The man is a shell of a human being. So does it matter if he gets hurt? You're probably going to think, oh my god, that's so awful that you said that. Stevie, no. Fuck that shit, dude. I just don't understand. I just don't understand.
I'm sorry to everyone that I made content cop videos on. I still don't like the majority of you, and that's fine, but I can recognize that you did not deserve the hate and harassment that I sent your way. I particularly want to apologize to Tana. Tana, I'm sorry. I should have never made that video. I harassed Tana in person and then harassed her online, and that's deplorable behavior. It's so stupid.
I think the only reason he apologizes to Tana is not for the stunt he pulled where he went up to her in public. I think he's only apologizing to her because he realizes it's the one that directly applies to his situation, because the whole basis of the Tana Mojo video was him, coming after her for saying the N-word when she was like a teenager or whatever. And so she started becoming more woke and saying, you know, that's back when it started. And she was saying, you know, you can't say these things or do these things. And then he pulled up the receipts and is like, oh, but you said it or whatever. So why are you telling people not to say it? When she was talking, I think, specifically about Idubbbz, right? It's been a while since I watched the video, obviously. But she was specifically like, oh, Idubbbz is bad because he says the N-word. And he's like, well, you said it too. So he's only apologizing for this specific instance. He doesn't give a fuck about Tana. He's only apologizing for this specific instance because it's what's happening to him now. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not about, like, actual introspection and being like, oh, you know, it's like when you're a fucking kid and you hurt someone's feelings and then you get your feelings hurt and you're like, oh, man, that must have felt bad. Man, that happened to me too, so now I understand why what I did to you was bad. That's such a fucking baby take. There's no actual growth in that. There's just experience, which is life experience, which, yeah, you should become a better person as you grow up and have more experiences and become more well-rounded and then go through adversity and things like this. But what I'm saying is that if you're not already forward-thinking, which he isn't clearly, he's only doing this because now he burned his hand on the stove and realized it's hot. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no actual fucking... He doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck. He's probably like... I honestly... But I think as much as he's trying to pretend like this is some kind of He's trying to make it seem self-serving. And by self-serving, I mean like that he's genuinely like tortured over this stuff and actually feels bad and wants to be a better person, all that. No, there's part of this that is calculated. He's trying to shift his brand so that he can keep making millions of dollars. I truly believe that. I know how people are. I'm not fucking stupid.
I'm also sorry to all the black viewers and minority groups who had to put up with that video and put up with, you know, the phrases. I said either it's all okay or none of it's okay. And that's just so dangerous and stupid.
I'm going to make a bold claim. The majority of African American people, if that's what you want to call them, instead of black, which sometimes can be detrimental because oftentimes these people aren't even from Africa, unless they're privileged, and I mean unless they are from a family of money and wealth and are middle class at least and are comfortable, they do not give a fuck. Because if you're a cool dude and you're friends with them, they don't give a fuck if you say the N-word, okay? Not from where I'm from. They don't give a fuck when I say it. I mean, I don't say the N-word unless you say it. I don't say it.
I have made content that I'm proud of over the years. It hasn't been as consistent as maybe I'd like it to have been, but you know, there is a lot of content that I think had a net positive on the world, and you know, I'm going to strive to continue on that trend. But again, I'm absolutely going to continue to make mistakes, but I want the mistakes to be a lot smaller and a lot less serious. I also want to give some clarity to the post-fight speech that I gave. I mean, it wasn't a speech. It was a phrase. I was like,
you know, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I really do appreciate the support, and you know, thank you for coming.
That was addressing the people over the years that I neglected and I left behind. You know, the people whose feelings I, you know, didn't take into consideration. Those are the people who I was addressing as, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Anyone who thinks that I should be shouting the N-word from the rooftops.
Oh, shit.
I don't want to be your cup.
I think I got my eye drops in my earbuds. Now, that's what you hear what he's saying there. That's important. What he's saying about, what he's saying there about it's for that statement, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, whatever, that it's for people who he's hurt in the past, as in people who wouldn't watch his old content. What is he saying there? He's saying the larger customer base. He's saying the bigger demographic that he can make more money off of. He'd rather be woke because he can. Let's be honest, you're going to sell more fucking t-shirts to people that don't like you saying the N-word than people that do. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to make money. It's wholly about keeping a career going, for sure.
I want to talk about events and situations that have happened over the past 5 years of my life that have led me to the place I'm at now. One year I was at a convention and a bunch of fans were, you know, wanting pictures, and this particular fan came up to me and said, I know you probably don't like transgender people, but can I, you know, get a picture? That smacked me in the face. I was like, oh, holy shit. Why would you think that? But I mean, it was fairly obvious. I was being cruel.
My 5-year-old came home from school yesterday and said, Mom, geopolitical landscape, economy, blah, 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 blah. Why can't we fix this, whatever. Wow, and I cried. Wow. Deep 5-year-old. That's a bullshit story. He's just saying that. People make up shit like that all the time. A transgender person approached you and said, hey, you probably don't like transgender people, but can I have a picture? If they thought, there's always this radicalization of things on the internet. People, like the Nazi thing. They go, oh, you must have a gun and want to shoot up a school and be a Nazi because you said this thing one time. So, like, if that person, and I believe that kind of person would be terrified of you because they think you're anti-trans, that they think you'd hate crime them or whatever. Like, what? What are you talking about, bro? He's lying. No one would come up to you and say that.
Hateful, bigoted, and being very uncaring about people's feelings. That is a very fair assessment to make. I was giving this person bad vibes, and I think I've given a lot of people extreme.
I want to touch on the feelings thing. Can we say fuck people's feelings? Can we stop giving such a shit about people's fucking feelings? Life isn't supposed to be easy, buddy.
Bad vibes.
It's never been easy.
Another event that was very important for me to experience was I went on a boxing podcast. I was basically like trying to walk back my Tana content cop. I was still very like insecure and uncomfortable with the fact that I made that video, and but I was still coping. You'll see me struggle in this clip to, say that it was wrong.
So I just wanted to let you talk on that, right? Because obviously using the N-word is definitely frowned upon by a lot of people, especially by a non-African American. But I was just curious.
That was a very weird video because I wanted to like criticize her for her like sort of flagrant use of it. I've been pretty flagrant about it too, not in the same way. Mm-hmm. I thought there was a message to be shared there, and I don't think it was particularly. It was okay in criticizing her, but I think I probably wasn't the person to deliver the message, if that makes sense. There was a message that I was trying to put out there.
Well, okay. So the reason I was covering my face and shit is that I'm just bored of this video. Thank God we're almost done. I'm like over it. I'm tired. I'm honestly just tired of his shit. What he just said there, I probably wasn't the person to deliver it. Now, because you have a very valid point of criticism, which he did, right? He's saying he's not the person to deliver that because he's white. And that's the idea we keep hearing of, don't speak for other colors and all that kind of thing and advocate them. No! What the fuck are you talking about? Have you ever heard of fucking civil rights, bro? If you didn't have white people helping the black people during the time of segregation to fight back against that, if you didn't have everyone banding together, have you heard of Martin Luther King, bro? We should be advocating for each other all the time. We should be protecting each other all the time. From a racism standpoint, yes, we should be helping our black brothers and our Mexican brothers. Everything like that. Little white girls and little black boys and all that should be able to walk hand in hand and be friends and all that shit. Have you ever heard the fucking Martin Luther King speech? Why couldn't you deliver the message? Why aren't you able to criticize Tana because you're white? He's saying it's okay for a black person to walk up to Tana at the event, put their arm around her, and say N-word because they're black. That's more racist.
And I'm not really the person to put out that message. I don't regret making the video. I think there's bits and pieces to take from it that I think are valuable, but
still coping.
I probably wouldn't make it these days. I'm very grateful to those guys and how they broached this.
I want to say, you see when he's put there, still coping and whatever. He is. It's like, what did he do? He said he did something in the last video, maybe the clown emoji. He tries to throw in little bits of hello, fellow kids. I'm funny. I'm a person, too. I'm a human being. Like he's not an alien.
Because, it didn't put me on the defensive. It just made me realize, I'm stupid. I'm stupid, and I really need to, acknowledge these things. What am I doing?
Is he going to start crying?
I'm
Sounds
still
like he's
trying
going to
to
start crying.
make excuses for myself and, why I made that video.
I'm surprised I haven't been banned from Twitch yet. As soon as I get, following, I'll probably get banned.
Slurs and I was trying to justify it all.
What can't you say on
that has
Twitch? Can I call him a pussy, or do you get banned from Twitch for that?
Just the amount.
Can you say pussy on Twitch?
Hate and harassment my wife Anissa has received over the years. She's had to deal with it from the beginning of our relationship, and I have done a horrible job at acknowledging her and her feelings for it. A lot of the time, I just thought that was her problem.
No, I don't want to talk about Anissa anymore, because at a certain point, it's not because you keep saying, oh, she's getting harassed, whatever. It's not about, I don't want to keep ganging up on this chick, whatever. But the thing is that from the leaked DMs and all that stuff, and from what we see, from how they publicly talk about the relationship and publicly say about each other and things like that, I think she's nagging him all day, going like, oh, it's so hard for me to have a Twitter account because of you. It's your fault. People message me or are mean to me. And all this shit, and just whining like a fucking child at him, probably. I mean, I think there's so much to unpack with those two. It's just exhausting. I'm exhausted. Unless like something big happens in the future with him, another crazy piece of drama like the Froggy Fresh drama or something, which honestly, there probably will be some more shit revolving him. I mean, Creator Clash is going to keep happening, right? And even when he stops fighting, Creator Clash will keep happening, I'm sure, which will be cool. I'd like it if it kept happening, even if he wasn't attached. Or, you know what I mean. He'll still be running it. He just wouldn't be fighting. But the thing is, yeah, I did get my eardrops in my eye drops in my ear. I'm just over him. I'm over him.
Or that was, other people's problem. Like, it's not my problem that you're getting hate and harassment. And it's like, no, it absolutely is. That's the culture that I cultivated. And I, didn't do anything.
Start fucking playing phone games at this point.
Change
fucking
that.
Bored.
Over the years, it's changed a little bit. But, I don't think I've still fully acknowledged how responsible I am for the amount of harassment that Anissa has had to deal with. And this year,
She headhunted you, though, back in the day. She was the one who wanted to date a big YouTuber. She was all excited. She was hopping from YouTuber to YouTuber famously, known for trying to get at Leafy. It didn't work, so she went for you.
I did to speak more candidly and be more open about who I am as a person and to speak on my life a little bit more. And I did that on Anthony Padilla's podcast. These are the people that I'm attracting. These are the people that I'm entertaining. Like, I need to reevaluate things. They're relating and enjoying this content for a reason, and that's not maybe the same reason that I'm trying to make. I had a very Wild West mentality when it came to online behavior. Like, people are going to do what they want to do. People are going to say what they want to say. And I can pretty much do the same because it's the internet. But I think you have to be a lot more responsible. If you guys are at all interested in how I've arrived here, that video gives,
I think he's saying be more responsible, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's about being responsible. And what is that awful smell? I think my cat farted. It's not the being responsible for the sake of, like he keeps touting, protecting other people and doing right for his wrongs. I really do think it boils down to responsibility for your own career and protecting yourself. And now I know I'm very cynical like that or whatever. But for instance, if I was walking around saying the N-word on the internet, I mean, at least if I was sitting here saying it on Twitch and all that stuff, that's going to be bad for my career. And by career, I mean like internet wise, people aren't going to like that for the most part. But I don't think anyone is gonna come across me. I don't think there's anyone that's gonna accidentally click on my stream and I'm going N-word, saying it nonstop or some shit, and they're gonna be like, oh my God, he said it. Ah.
A good bit of context and talks about some of my life a little bit. There is a clip from this interview that's been floating around the internet. And it's me calling my fans antisocial and basement dwellers. And I was like, I didn't like, interacting with my fans. I just want to be clear, that was my realization. I think a lot of people are like, of course that happened, is because you were creating that culture and you were attracting those people. And
what are you saying?
Yes, I know. I know now. I didn't know before. It was my realization upon, meeting more and more fans that I was like, oh shit, you guys are struggling. It was easy for me to identify them struggling when they were outside of my body. But the antisocial basement-dwelling incel that was inside here, I couldn't acknowledge that.
Now, he called himself an incel, and I don't think he meant incel as in the stereotypes of how an incel acts. I think he was genuinely just an incel, because we've heard before, we've had confirmation that Anissa was his first girlfriend, so he's saying, like, legitimately, like, before I touched a vagina. He's 32, right? So he lost his virginity around 25, I think?
That I
That's
couldn't
pretty
recognize
fucking
that. So I
harsh.
needed the mirror to be
That's
held
rough.
up to me. In closing, I want to say that I have always thought that I was an empathetic person because I thought, well, I get angry.
I want to really quickly, this is something I've said, I don't think I've said on the internet, or like in my shows at least, but I've said to a lot of people in my own life. Now, I lost my virginity when I was 15. I'm not bragging here. I'm not saying like, oh, I fuck, but I do fuck. But I'm not being like, oh, this guy fucks. You know what I'm saying? But there's a fine line there. I'm not trying to, I don't want to encourage teenage pregnancy or anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like tell the kids to go out there and fuck. But I think that as a man, if you don't, it's something in our brains. I think it's the testosterone that fucks you up. I don't know. But if you don't have sex as a man, especially with the way the current climate is now with the internet and how things happen and how it can twist your brain and your thoughts, that if you don't have sex and get out there and get out of your shell and start hooking up with chicks early, like high school or college at least, I guess. I don't know. That seems even crazy to me. But if you make it to like 25, like Idubbbz here, you become a freak. You become a loser. You become a psycho. And then you'll meet a woman and let her control you. And you won't be your own fucking person. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think a man... Because let's talk biologically. Well, I don't even know, dude. I guess we want to talk biologically. We're only supposed to live to like 30 anyways, you know? Science and medicine and evolution and all that shit has transformed us out of our fucking gourds. I think that as a man, it sours you. I think something changes and you become this crazy fucking monster if you don't get laid. You gotta get laid, bro. You gotta get laid.
I get sad.
I'm not saying that as like a douchebag, like alpha male thing. I'm not into Andrew Tate or the manosphere, whatever you call it, whatever. I'm just saying on a realistic level, you're going to be a little weirdo. It's different for women. They don't seem to be affected as hard. But for men, you will be a little fucking weirdo if you don't touch a vagina.
Of course, I got empathy. Seems easy, right? Empathy. I definitely have that. There were moments where like a dog would die in a film and I'd cry. So it's like, of course I have empathy. But I never did. I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability, empathy. And I'm very ashamed to admit that. It sounds really pathetic to say at the age.
He's saying, this is what I want to talk about too. He's saying empathy and all this stuff. But let's look at, you can, to debunk what he's saying and his lack of actual character and growth, you can look at the stark difference. I actually want to fucking put my face up here for this one so we can get this straight. This is a big point. And I hope that if anyone watches this video, they make it to this point and they hear me when I say this. Look at the stark difference between me criticizing Idubbbz and my relation to him and how I still keep saying that I want to see him do better and be better. That comment I left, I genuinely want things to turn out okay for the guy. And look at the difference between him and Froggy Fresh. He's upset with Froggy Fresh, but he can't see the empathy from where he's standing. And what's wrong with what he's doing to him. And I would wager to guess it might be because Froggy Fresh is a white guy. And he's friends with Sam Hyde or whatever, right? He's only worried about the whole woke ideology type shit of like, you know, I know at the end of the video, he's talking about the trans thing. He donates to, I believe it is a trans people of color charity. We'll see here in about a minute. But that's what I'm saying. It's not real empathy. It's not for real human beings in his everyday life or anything like that. He's not having empathy for He's having empathy for, you know, a faceless minority or whatever, a stereotype or a belief of someone who might exist. He's not having, you know, he's not applying the empathy to people around him, like, let's say, Froggy Fresh, whose life he tried to fucking ruin. It reeks of this, you know, of a blowing smoke up your own ass, jerking yourself off, very self-serving in the wrong way.
Age of 32, I've acquired empathy, but I have, and I've realized it because I just like can't help myself but like feel for other people's pain and suffering. Now,
I'm gonna tweet right now.
I'm still not perfect. I'm
gonna tweet right now.
You know, my empathy meter's only maybe like a quarter of the way filled up potentially, but it's at least there.
All right, I'm tweeting. Reacting live to Idubbbz right now. Where was your empathy when it came to Froggy Fresh? Stop huffing your own farts. Bonk gang!
And I just want you guys to know that you can unlock ability empathy if you experience more life. It might take you getting hurt a little bit, but it's worth it. It is so worth it.
When did you get hurt in recent years? If you say you just acquired empathy, what happened? Did you go back and talk to your dad? Did you go rekindle that relationship? Did Anissa cheat on you? Or did she use the stick a little bit too hard? You know what I'm saying? That rod you were riding made you bleed a little?
So
and it woke up your pussy,
everyone.
Your pussy jeans.
I do want to create more regular
opened
content.
Opened up your heart like a flower, and you said, "Oh, I love everybody."
And I don't want to just have the next 5 videos be apologies. So I have uploaded a squirrel video on my second channel. If you want to watch that. I guess as one final thing, I just want to thank everyone who's given me the space and the compassion to grow as a person, because it's taken longer than it probably should have. I appreciate everyone, and I think most importantly, I appreciate my wife, Anissa. She has been insanely compassionate and helpful and patient in allowing me to grow over the years, and has legitimately encouraged me to be a better person, and not a better person in just like the, Idubbbz becoming woke kind of way. She was the one who said that I should try this boxing thing. I would have never done that on my own because I was insecure and I was pathetic. I did this and I am so glad I did. It's been amazing. So Anissa, I love you. You're amazing. Right now you're streaming. But bon voyage, toodles.
That was dumb. Let's go ahead and hit that quick dislike button, baby. I wish we could still see the ratio. There's a way to see it, I think, right? What are the comments saying? I never would have guessed that his final content comp would be on himself. Content cop was great, not because I ever thought you were some moral hero, but because at least somebody was calling those guys on their crap. Content cop was great and will be missed. As someone else put it, he had a lot of past videos that weren't edgy or bullying. They were just weird and hilarious performance art or jackass-like. Like the Sewer Pickle video or the Frank Maximo for anything for views collabs. Those videos will hold up great. I think Ian should still be proud of those videos. I totally get him having regrets about the other videos, though. If anybody's mad at you over this apology, those people either need to grow up or aren't worth your time and effort. This comes from somebody that will genuinely that still genuinely enjoys a lot of your old stuff and has been a fan for years. I watched him a little growing up. I understand the hate, but people grow. Everyone does, so why can't we all be human and grow to understand that people change? Hey, man, your Kickstarter crap series was always my favorite. Okay, I'm over it now, right? So, I'm tired of this. I really am tired of this. I can't believe this took an hour. It should have been quicker than the other one. It took long because I guess I had more to say. I don't even think coming into this, I didn't think it was going to be that big a deal. Anyways, I didn't think I was going to have much to say. Anyways, it's just he's like, it's weird because he's kind of giving me like drama theater kid vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so deep, bro. Hits blunt. Like really thinks that he's doing something different, that he's making a change or he's helping someone or something like that, like he's a better person or something, when all he's doing has been for the last couple of years just repeating the same talking points of, oh, I don't like what I did in the past, I'm different now. He just keeps saying that without actually doing anything. He is more of an actions than speaking guy, as he said, but I don't think just holding a charity boxing event where you're no doubt making millions of dollars is the way to prove that you're not racist, first of all. Second, not that you are racist, but second of all, like that's what you're trying to do, and second of all, to say that you've changed or you're a better person. I think it's all bullshit. I think you're just not being real, dude. I think you're really you're coping, and I know that's the hot topic word right now to use, but that's what it is. You're trying really hard. You got some pain, man. You feel really bad about yourself. And listen, now the way I tend to speak, people tend to get it misconstrued here. This is not me talking this is not me talking shit or me trying to be mean or anything. I'm just being real. And I think this has less to do with the content and less to do with YouTube drama and all that. Than you may think. I think it really ties back to his father, man. I should be a therapist, bro. I think it ties back to his father. I think that, his father made him feel small, and his father made him feel like no one loved him or whatever, and so he feels badly about himself. So I think he's always been trying to prove that he was good enough. And then he met a girl that loves him, maybe. Seems like she likes his money. He fucking changed his last name to hers, does whatever she wants. He's her little bitch or whatever. And you know what? That's fine. That's his relationship. He's happy. Who cares about their relationship? Everyone's talking about it, whatever. But that's the internet, people talking shit. You got to learn to ignore it, okay? If you love your wife, like I love mine, then no matter what other people say about your relationship, it shouldn't fucking matter. It's your relationship. Be an adult. Grow the fuck up if you're 32. Use that empathy you've been talking about. Wow, I had some crazy eyes right there. But what I'm trying to say is that I think, he's just so vehemently going, I'm a good person, I'm worth value, love me. He just wants to be loved, dude. There's something missing there from a primal aspect of his parents. There's some hole there. It has nothing to do with the internet. It has nothing to do with the internet, all that kind of stuff. He used to get all of the recognition on the internet back in the day when people liked him, when he was funny. And that kind of filled that God-sized hole in him, is what they call it. When your parents fuck you up and you don't, and you're not religious, you have a hole you need to fill. Either your parents are going to fill it, someone who loves you, or God. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to take care of yourself, bro. I know this is getting pretty fucking deep, but that's what's up. I think 100%. And then no one's going to talk about this on the internet. I'm the only person on the internet I've seen make this assumption and make this call out and say this stuff. But I think it does come back to his dad. If I'm playing armchair fucking psychologist here, I think that from what we've heard, from what he's let loose, and maybe not just his dad, maybe his mom as well, but I think he said that he loved his mom a lot. I think he publicly said his mom was good. I don't know. But I think that it's because he had a bad upbringing, and that damages people. It really does. And I think it fucked him up, and that he wants so desperately to be loved. And I think he's so underneath so many levels of that he doesn't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? And he's in this mode where he thinks he's doing the right thing and he's a better person, all that stuff. And he doesn't realize what he's doing actually is crying out for daddy to come love him. Anyways, that's pretty much all I got today. Hopefully next week we can talk about something else. I want to do something positive. I don't want to just keep talking about drama shit. I don't want to keep talking about Idubbbz. I'm going to say right now, I think that the Idubbbz war arc is over. Hopefully we can look back and laugh at this one day, or who knows, maybe he won't get better and he'll continue to get worse and we'll have to keep talking shit. But I'll call him out. I'll definitely call him out if he keeps being a little bitch. Don't worry. Next week, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Maybe we'll do some more varied news, or we didn't get to talk about the video games this month. I wanted to do that every month, talk about every game that came out in the month. Maybe we'll talk about games because I could use something a little bit lighter, a little bit more fun. Remember to come watch me on Fridays at 1 p.m. Pacific time here on Twitch at DOWNB. I'm fucking up my own thing. Twitch.tv/downwithbrown. That's DOWNWBROWNE. With is replaced with the letter W. As well as Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific time is the gaming Sunday Fun Day stream, which we're working on One Piece Odyssey and Star Wars Force Unleashed. I think we're going to play Star Wars this weekend. We'll see. Yes, again, thank you guys for hanging out. If you listen to this whole video, I really appreciate it. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. It means a lot to me. It really does. I'm trying to get to 100 by my birthday. That is, it's the 19th today. My birthday's on June 18th, so we're less than a month away. I would love to get to 100 subscribers for my birthday. July will be our 1-year anniversary and try and do something special for that. If you didn't like this video, I still appreciate you listening to an opinion that's different from your own, listening to the end and giving me your time. That's cool of you for being open-minded, because guess what? You can have a differing of opinion or not like something or anything like that, blah, 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 but still be an adult about it. If you hated this video, you're probably an Idubbbz stan, you probably enjoy playing Tetris, and your mother doesn't love you. Guess what, baby? You can go get bent. Bye-bye.
The show is over, but you're still here hanging around. Why don't you hit subscribe?